5 years. When I was doing my milling, because it was a sawmill, everybody out in the sawmill area and the construction area, a lot of people deal with cash, right? So there was side things that I did where I just never claimed, because it's got nothing to do with any federal government about what I do, when I do it, where I do it. And if they were giving me money, I would claim what they give me. But I had, through the years, way before, when I didn't know any better, I had given them tens of thousands of dollars of tax money, because I was in that middle class tax bracket, and they just greased me to the core. We have three things coming, and that is the crash of the stock market, the crash of the real estate, residential, and the crash of the commercial real estate. Those big three things are going to basically crash the whole matrix. And it is a matrix. It's not, these buildings that we see. Right now, and just a kind of a little side note right now, there's a whole tribe of people, white, black, native, in the East Kootenays right now, in one of the in the towns and the cities that I live in, and they are all up in past the industrial park and up in the bushland, which is kind of like a kind of a park area type thing, and it's turned into tent city. Okay, now because my business was up in that industrial park, and I've been there since '05. I got to know a lot of the people that are around there, and I like to help people out where I can. And I've, now that I'm retired, I'm in there, and they, the city's doing what they can, and the government, the federal government, the really good girls that there's. And they've built roads in there so you can drive in there and drop off, supplies and wood and whatever you got, right? So, but the way everybody's kind of working backwards here. That's what I'm seeing as as a structural engineer, senior structural engineer. I'm looking at this. Why are you people spending so much money on these little huts and teepees? Why don't they all go back to the teepee system? Because I think that would be the way to go. I mean, if you don't have housing, why do you think the Indians survived in these harsh winters for so long? It was because of the teepee system. And there's certainly, it's easy to build and then get them wrapped, and you can have this thing all put up together and basically done in one day. And all this energy, what they're doing right now is so Western, survival Western style, and it's just not working. They're trying to bring in these, old makeshift wood stoves and whatever, and plant them in these, makeshift tents and stuff like that. And there's been fires up there, people burning, their tents down because the pipes get too hot and whatever. And it's like, stop, people. This is not the way to do things. Not that I'm there to try to, tell them how to do things. Why don't we just do a couple of teepee structures like that? Because all you have to do, if you get those teepee structures, they're in a 20-foot diameter, and you put the sticks together up to the top, and you leave the top open, right? That's what the natives, our Aboriginal did. The natives did, and they built the fire in the middle, and all the smoke went up through the top there. That's why it was a teepee, and the smoke, builds up and goes up through the top. And you could put, a family in there, and for what? I'll bet you could do it for under $100, build a teepee. And they're spending how much? Tens of thousands of dollars making these, little whatever they're making. They're cheap. They don't hold heat. Some of them are, they're buying these. The government's buying these tents. They're not even canvas; they're just plastic. It's just ridiculous, and they're spending all this money because there's no direction up there. So, there's a challenge everywhere we go. I'm hoping that there's going to be money. That they're going to receive money, but they don't need money. They need a med bed. They need to be cured. And, it's a very challenging situation for a lot of people out there.